All right. What we're going to do is just like the cover said, we're going to read out of the Lesser Key of Solomon. Aleister Crowley mainly. But I want you to look at this. This would be a seal, I guess. But I'm not saying I guess. I'm just trying to give you words to where you would understand some of this. Some of you know what this is. But what's that word right in the middle? Master. Okay, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Master. Masters golf tournament. Master's degree. All that comes from that. From that right there. Every bit of that comes from that. So what we'll do is go to this license to depart. Because what this has to do with, it has to do with the banishing of the Justice Department. Because before your nation, before any nations, there was black magic. And there were words used for black magic. Okay, and one of the words used was licenses, a license, and depart. Okay, those words were black magic before they were put into your dictionaries and whatever to define a certain word for a very weak, low nature, homunculus, empty brain. You have nothing in there, so you don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this, and you're going to listen. And it's going to make no sense to probably anybody, but to very few. Because we know that this is the proper thing. Each department represents demons. It says, O thou spirit, because thou hast diligently answered unto my demands, and hast been very ready and willing to come at my call, I do here license thee to depart unto thy proper place, without causing harm or danger unto man or beast. Depart then, I say, and be thou very ready to come at my call, being duly exercised and conjured by the sacred rites of magic. I charge thee to withdraw peaceably and quietly, and the peace of God be ever continued between thee and I. Amen. After thou hast given the Spirit license to depart, thou art not to go out of the circle, it should be this, until he or they be gone, and until they shall have made prayers and rendered thanks unto God for the great blessings he has bestowed upon the granting thy desires, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's see. Let's just see. A master's degree seal. See? So, what did it say? It says a master's degree seal is a formal, often something emblem placed on a university diploma to verify its authenticity and signify the completion of a graduate level studies. So, but they're going to have, they're given that from Black Path Universities, Black Magic. So that seal represents this. So the university is this. They're in the middle of it. So the seals that they're getting is telling them they got to be obedient. Let's say it's to the medical industry. You got to obey certain doctoral laws and practices and stuff. And then when the industry calls you forth to learn some new shit, you got to go and be obedient. It's the same shit. So, Department of Education. Department of Education. Department of Justice. Those are all black magic departments. So, there's seals. It's my whole point. Seals. You've got a seal on your birth certificate. And then once you're born, the the Black Magic Authority, which would be Saturn, government, stamps your birth certificate. And then your birth certificate, you're given your birth certificate, and then your fucking program, which would be a seal, it's charged. And then you're given that fucking shit, and then you are, then you're given that as a baby, and you're being told that you're being to depart unto thy proper place without causing harm or danger unto man or beast. That means obey my laws of the land and all this other shit, you demon. Depart, and be thou very ready to come at my call. In time, I'm going to program you with Disney, with your demons, and be weak. And then we're never going to teach you laws in the schools at all. And then all of a sudden, we're just going to fucking blast you with ice. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, no, look at what they're doing. So the demons in you don't know the laws. They're Disney weak character wheeled demons. They're fucking disgusting. They're just demons that depend solely on a screen. And see, and now what they've done is now since you have been set out from birth, programmed to be an Arimonic demon, and you've had all these impulses inserted into you, and you've obeyed everything. You've departed at birth. Now the news is calling you forth again, which is black magic. You've grown into the screens. Do you see that? Do you see how easy that we can break down the black magic? It's not just that. Since the words don't understand and compute through that small brain of yours, the homunculus empty brain, what we'll do is this, is the United States Justice Department. Wikipedia. See, there's the seal right there. Now, when this thing was formed, the formation, remember, before this, there's got to be a formation of any department. So, this is the seal, whatever they had then, is the formation of this department of fucking demon black magic. So, they're controlling this. I'm going to give you some numbers. Remember, 9/11 is the 156 prime. We've done videos about this. We've told you if they're not talking about gematria, then the people are fucking on board to harvest your soul, and they want to be a god on the other side, even though they're not. They're wrong too. The Jessies have gotten to all of them. They can't get to this one. They can't even fucking step out because it's like blatantly in their face. Like, we have a goy over here that's literally fucking giving you the answer in your face, and he's proven that you can't understand it. So there's the seal. That seal's going to be no different than this. And each seal is a hex. Okay, so within this hex right here, all right, it was founded on July the 1st of 1870. It says 155 years ago. Okay, now this coming year, on July the 1st, do you see that? 156 months is what it's going to be. Now remember, you don't know these numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the number 9/11. So you've got 9/11 is the 156 prime. Okay. Now, the reason I'm saying that is there's a day into this year that's 9,011 days from 9/11/01. Okay? And then there's a movie that has to do with conspiracies that's 10,506 days from it coming out, 156. And there's a shit ton of other shit. But our whole point is he's starting to tell you on how they like within these prime numbers, especially 9/11. 9/11's a big boy, okay, and you got 156 in there, and you got all these numbers, but 9/11's a big number. That's why operator 911 operator. What operator was there before your language? Operator is this person. This is the operator. They're standing in the middle operating. operating rituals. And all these departments are sealed with an operator. So when they're banishing these departments that have done their job, that have controlled, now they're at the end of this ritual that's gone on for 156 months straight almost. But from the day that we're looking at, remember, and I've told you this, it's 48 days until the anniversary of 156 months. Okay? And remember, this all has to do with 223 and 322, which we've done. So it's 48 days. So 223 is the 48th prime. See, and you don't have any of this. And I'm telling you in a very easy way on what they're doing. Each department, which would be schools, it sure would, education department. Each generation, there's going to be more departments, because positions is the trick. Position creates possession, and possession is black magic. And the whole thing is these humans are really homunculus beings. See, they have been created from day one with screens, billboards, images, fake tones, fake sounds. Their blood is connected to fake everything. So what's in here has came through this shit. That's what I'm saying. This brain is this. Hey, Google, there's the answer. They don't even have it in them to look. They're so ignorant that they can't. So by definition, they are. The nation's one big department of the English spirit, which is a fucking demon. So they're going to continue this. Okay? You're witnessing literally a behind-the-scenes banishing of a black magic department. I'm serious. If some of y'all that still watch that black magic shit, we've said it. See, in 2020 with Floyd, we predicted the election that following year in Georgia because it was 32 weeks, 2 days from his death until the fake shit, 322. Predicted it and said Biden and all this other shit. Predicted it before it happened. Everybody hated me around it, and they still won't fucking listen. But it's just what it is. So you're witnessing the banishing. You're actually starting to understand now. Way back in 1870, you got to understand there wasn't the impulses going into any town or society was just coming through the newspapers. That's it. And whatever little bit of farming they taught the idiots on the outsides. That's it. There wasn't no looking up. That's been gone. They ain't none of them looking up. They don't live off of the lunar calendar. They don't live off of the stars. They didn't travel the seas by the fucking stars like everybody did forever. Nope, it all came down here. Here's maps. Here you go. You just look down, down, down. So I mean by it's what I'm saying. Conditioned for centuries. Regurgitated souls. So when you upload, these a whole lifetime of this, that's the whole thing. You're as a demon, black path magicians, we upload into your subconscious black magic shit like what you think is sweet and innocent is fucking demons. Seriously. And then it comes out on the other side. And then there's several other things that happen. And see, it's so strong within these human beings that they will argue with you. They will yell at you, they will cuss at you, and they will go right back to that shit. And they wonder why children have all these fucking problems, and it's because you're doing it to them. Until you cut all that shit, but it's not going to happen. Look, it's going to continue to happen until it's fucking over with. But you're getting to witness, what they do from behind the scenes. This ain't even the ones that create the towns. This is the ones behind it. These are the ones that set up the big shit. They set up the big shit, and then the little Jessies come in and they got to tighten it all up, whenever it's, a couple of years before it's go time, which would be now. But they're banishing this department of demons, even though it served its purpose. And see, they flooded this nation with immigrants, and they made Americans really lazy and overweight and slothy and pathetic and depend on pills and all that. But they flooded this nation with third world country immigrants that can survive eating bark. So let's say something happens and the resources get cut, because they will. Who would come out on top? It'd be the ones from the outside. Do you not see how from a distance you're spoiled for generations? Black magic, poisoned, mind, body, soul, and everything. You're corrupt. There's nothing inside of you. And then we come in and bring our product from other countries, which are corporations for us, and we fucking created demons out of them, mean fucking demons. And a lot of them know that it's going to collapse eventually. You have no idea the world that's coming y'all's way, and everybody's just lottie-dottie, but it's coming. So most people watching this, they will not have it in them to see it, but it's the truth. I'm giving you what some of the top black magic, path, magician, operator, seers, bullshit terms, whatever you want to call them. The ones that control and set up societies and control minds and all that, you're getting some information this morning about what the fuck they're doing. And then the initiates, the one born into all of it, they control it. It's so century and millennium bullshit. I love you.